Leaky Lorry. It was a bright summer morning on the island of Sodor. The sun was hanging high in the sky. There was lots of traffic coming and going at Brendam docks. All day long, ships moved in and out of the harbor, carrying goods and passengers to and from the mainland. It was so busy that Salty and Porter could hardly keep up. They were shunting cars and coaches as quickly as they could, but it seemed there were always more to take their place.
Geez, Cranky, you're unloading cargo faster than we can take it away. It's getting hard to keep everything organized.
Aye, we've been at it all morning, and the cargo keeps right on the coming, it does. You're telling me I've lifted every one of them, and there's no end in sight.
You're not the only one working hard, Cranky. I've been carrying passengers and goods across the island all morning, and I think this sun is starting to fade my paintwork. None of them could remember a day as hot as this one. Even Porter was beginning to lose his cool.
Bubbling boilers! I never thought I'd say it, but I think we could use some more help around here.
Ha-ha! Right you be, matey. I'd even take help from a lorry right about now.
Everyone laughed, remembering the last time lorries were sent to help on Sodor. They had turned out to be quite rude and hadn't been very useful at all.
Ha ha! Be careful what you wish for.
You again?
What are you all staring at? Lazy good-for-nothing scraps.
Look who's talking. The last time we saw you, you were the heap of scrap.
Now I'm back, and good as new. Can't say as much for this place, though.
Porter had never had the pleasure of meeting a lorry. He tried to remain optimistic.
We may not be the shiniest engines, but we're really hard working.
Not hard enough from the looks of it. Guess that's why they brought me here.
Well, not exactly. I've invited you back, Lorry, against my better judgment, because we need your help.
But, sir, we don't need any help from him. Any job a lorry can do, a steamy can do better.
Not so, Percy. There's lots of work to be done, and many of these jobs are not accessible by rail. In fact, I have 3 very important jobs for you, Lorry. First, you'll need to take a crate of lemons to the refreshment lady near Glennock. She's selling lemonade for the children and vacationers at the Whispering Waterfall, and she's nearly sold out.
Nothing to it.
Yes, well, after that, you'll be helping Trevor in Wellsworth. There's an overgrown lot that needs to be cleared of brush and debris. The summer days are getting hotter, and we don't want any danger of wildfires now, do we? And last but not least, you'll need to travel to Maithwaite Station to help Tom Tipper, the postman. His mail van has broken down, so you'll need to finish making his deliveries for him.
And the faster I do that, the sooner I can get back to my real work on the mainland.
Lorry was being impatient. He didn't want to work on Sodor. He just wanted to get back to the mainland, but his driver reminded him that they were under contract. That's all well and good, Lorry, but before any of that, you'll need a proper inspection to make sure you're in working order.
I don't need no stinking inspection. I already had one, before I left the mainland.
Oh, I see. Very well. Be on your way then, Lorry. I'll be inspecting the rails around the island today, so don't be surprised if I stop by to see how you're getting along. Don't let me down. Lorry raced along the coastal road as fast as he could. He was eager to finish his first job quickly and get on to the next one. But up ahead, there was traffic stopped just outside of Sudbury. Belle and Edward were headed for an emergency.
Stuff and nonsense. What's the hold-up?
Cool your carburetor, sugar. There's a crossing up yonder.
Lorry grew even more impatient. He didn't want to wait for the train to pass through the crossing, so he decided to drive around it, and right in front of Edward.
Look out!
Whoa! Looks like you've got a leak.
Lorry was in far too much of a hurry to notice that his radiator had sprung a leak. He could feel that his engine was starting to get hotter. As Lorry reached the road to Valley View, he noticed he was beginning to overheat, but he didn't want to stop.
Almost there. Just another quarter mile.
By the time Lorry had reached the Whispering Waterfall, he was exhausted. His driver was concerned. After unloading the lemons, he suggested they check their fluid levels. He was surprised to find that Lorry's water reserve was nearly empty.
What's this? Lorry, what's the matter?
Lorry was frustrated. He didn't want to stop and answer questions from the fat controller. He didn't want to stop to refill his water reserve. If he had to keep stopping, he'd never finish his jobs.
Are you overheating?
Lorry was flustered.
Just taking a quick rest, sir. The sun is brutal.
Sir Topham Hatt was stern.
I thought I saw a puddle left behind when you took off from Brindham Docks earlier. Are you sure you don't have a leak?
Lorry wasn't sure what to say. He knew that if he told the truth, he'd have to go back to the engine works for repairs. Then he'd never get back to the mainland.
Must have forgotten to fill up before we left the mainland, sir.
So his driver took a bucket to the waterfall and collected some water to fill Lorry's reserve again. Then they were off once more. By the time Lorry reached Wellsworth, he was nearly out of water again. His engine had gotten so hot, he thought his oil would boil.
Oh, hello there. Have you come to help?
Lorry was weak. Lorry was weary. He didn't even have the energy to make proper conversation.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
But Lorry didn't start working. Instead, he shut off his engine to avoid overheating and stood parked on the road.
I'm just going to rest here for a minute. You get started without me.
We already have.
While Lorry was letting his engine cool off, his driver was doing all the work. He had to make several trips across the lot to fill Lorry's trailer. Lorry wasn't being very useful at all. But he was still being impatient.
This is taking forever. Ain't we finished yet?
Isabella was about to give Lorry the what for when Sir Topham Hatt arrived once again in his rail inspection car.
Lorry, is everything all right?
My word, where's he off to in such a hurry?
He's all hot and bothered, that one, sir. Overheated, I think.
Is that so? The chase was on. Winston clattered after Lorry as quickly as his wheels would carry him. Lorry raced on as fast as he could, trying to get away from Sir Topham Hatt. He zipped and he zoomed. He zigged and he zagged, but it was no use. His water reserve was completely empty, and his engine was getting hotter and hotter. Then there was trouble.
Oh no!
And just like that, the chase was finished. Lorry had run his engine so hard that one of his pistons had seized and snapped the connecting rod.
Lorry, what do you think you're doing?
He hadn't taken time to have an inspection. He hadn't wanted Sir Topham Hatt to know about his water leak. He'd only wanted to finish his work quickly so he could get back to the mainland. Now he couldn't move another inch.
Sorry, sir. Didn't want to go to the repair yard. Just wanted to hurry and get back to the mainland's all.
You've done nothing but cause confusion and delay. If you had only stopped to fix this problem in the first place, you would probably already be finished and on your way home again. Now you won't be returning to the mainland until you've been mended. Luckily, the repair yard was nearby. Soon, Butch had arrived from the Sodor Search and Rescue Center to tow Lorry from the roadway. He was repaired and was on a ship back to the mainland the next morning. And that was the last they heard of Lorry. For a while. Hello? Anybody?